Aloha, now that we're being recorded. Aloha mai kako, mai kapi ina kala I hae hae, ai ka mole olu o le hua. Aloha ahi ahi kako, welcome to Nalawa Hina's ʻAha Wehena preview event. Tonight, we're gonna be doing a lot of mo'olelo, a lot of mele, and if you are joining us at this moment, you have been in some way, shape, or form touched by Kami Kamealoha Kanoa Wong. All of us at Nalawa Hina wanted to do something. There was a lot of people reaching out for donations on how can I help, and this is our part. This is our way to help bridge some mo'olelo, and in some ways it's more for us and for all of us to just kind of pause for a moment in our day, in our week, to be able to honor and remember and just provide some space to remember our friend, our wahine, Kami. Tonight, we have an evening of mele, mo'olelo, and we're also going to be previewing some of our donations for the online auction, which starts next week. We just want to open up with an oli, and we're going to have one of our nalau, Sharon Kaiulani Oram, to lead us in e ho mai and na au makua. Mahalo.
E ho mai ka ike mai na e o na mea na no e o na e ho mai ho mai e ho mai ka ike mai na mai e o na mea na no e o na e ho mai e ho mai e ho mai ka ike mai na mai o na mea na no e o na e ho mai e ho na au makua mai ka la hiki a ka la kau. Mai ka mokuli a ka hala vai. Na au makua ia ka hina kua ia ka hina alo. Ia ka kau I ka lani. O I I ka lani. O wei ka lani. Nunu I ka lani. Ka holo I ka lani. E ia ka pula pula o kou na aloha. E mātama o ko ia mako. E kalani, e kuri ka honua, e kuri ka pai aina o Hawaii. E o mai ka ike, e o mai ka ikaika, e o mai ki a ka mai, e o mai ka mau pokopono, e o mai ka ike pāpā lua, e o mai ka mana.
Mahalo nui for that opening, just setting the space for us. Next, I'd like to invite our kumu, Hokulani Holt Padilla, to come and speak to us a little bit about Nalawa Hina, as we've been getting many, many questions on who we are, what we do. So please welcome Kumu Hoku Holt Padilla. Aloha.
Aloha mai kako. Okay, I'm gonna wait until I see my little picture. If you folks are looking at side-by-side speaker, I see Diane's box is still on, but if you're looking at the thing as a side-by-side gallery, then here I am. So aloha mai kako. I am Hokulani Holt, and I am happy to be here to welcome you all, as Diane said, to our little celebration and kokua and malama of the Kanoa Wong ʻOhana. And it is a way that we are able to participate in honoring Kami and honoring the many kinds of work that she did and the many kinds of ways that she reached into our community. So Kami was a member of our Nala Wahina. And like Diane said, you know, people are asking, who is this Nala Wahina, fellas? Well, we're a collective of wahine that, okay, you wanna know the secret? It came together at YY Collective. We were all there, talk story, you know how it goes when you're over there, you have a little bit of ʻAha, a little bit of pupu, and before you know it, you have a plan going. And this plan turned into Nala Wahina. It came together as a way for us as wahine to meet together, to nurture and raise up the next generation of females, but at the same time to nurture and raise up ourselves. We aim to look at healing, education, elevating and revitalizing our connections to the physical, spiritual, and emotional pilina that we have with each other, and then most especially our akua wahine. Together, we really value our well-being. We learn, we think, we grow, and we look at ways that we can connect the past and the future. But most of all, we look to being able to spend time together to recharge and activate our imi ike, to visit our various aina, and to enjoy being able to be together as wahine. Traditionally, we know that there were times and spaces that were set aside for wahine to gather, whether it was at the haleopapa or whether it was in the halepe'a. There were times that wahine, regular times, that wahine would gather and spend spiritual time, spend fun time, spend learning and teaching time. And we sort of missed that. And so we decided, let's do this. Let's come together and do this learning together. We meet on a semi-regular basis. If you look at all of our faces, you know we're busy people in our community, but we always make time to gather and hold space together so that we can regenerate, recalibrate, refocus on our personal mauliola and mana so that we can positively affect our ʻOhana and the communities that we come in contact as a whole. So as Nala Wahina, we get together to learn, to have fun, and to enjoy being wahine. You know, because people didn't know what Nala Wahina, we often got questions like, how can we join? Well, rather than you join, make your own Nala Wahina group. Gather with friends and people that you enjoy spending time with. ʻOhana, neighbors, friends, and do that to bring mauliola to our communities. So, it sounds a little wussy. I don't know if that's a for real word. Sounds a little wussy about what is Nala Wahina. Just know we just like spending time together and thinking about mauliola in the many various ways that we do. So mahalo for joining us, for taking a chance on this Nala Wahina event that might not have been real clear. but mahalo for joining us and being able to share time with us. Aloha.
Mahalo, mahalo, Auntie Hoku, for that. We're just going to get right into it. We have a number of things that we want to share with you all tonight. One of the first things coming from Kalei Ke Aloha, a message from Kula Kaiapuni o Pu'ohala, and some mele to start us off.
Heleo aloha.
Heleo ho'omana'o.
Heleo mahalo.
Ya oi e kami ka me aloha. Ke aloha no.
He aloha no, he aloha ola.
Aloha e na Hawaii.
Mai Hawaii nui o ke awela.
Ai ke o nene ne e o ni I hau.
E aho I o ahula.
Ui ai ke alaka I lima.
Ua a pua ke a o kane o hela.
Kaulana ka inoa o lani hui. A hiki ka moa li'i a wai ka luala. I ke kani o na kini ia nei.
Ke haone au ia o ela.
I ka wai ka huri mau o ke auho.
Ua ia me ke aloha pau o lela.
Ua nani o puahala ua kaulana e. Ua nani o puahala ua kaulana e. Ua nani o puahala ua kaulana e.
Aia mā ko'olau poku ka waiwai o ki a lelo. Pa.
Aia mā ko'olau poku ka waiwai o ki a lelo. Ke ka he nei o hilani vai e hilani ala I na kamakapo o poko e.
Ke hua e nei kai he kaulele e ni o ne he ana kaua iki e.
I ku pa mako I na ole. E ho mai ku I ole mā malaho e.
No ke kui ka ona pula o kapahana motu. Hoku I ana ke a kane. He vai ka puno mako.
E o e nā kamakapo ko lau poko e.
Oi, aloha mai kākou, o wauno o ānue nue punua, kahi hoa o ka ʻohana Kanoa Wong, mai ka piʻina kala I puka I haʻe, ai ka mole olu o lehua, aloha nui kākou. Ka ʻohana Wong, definitely a steadfast ʻohana I ka ʻōlelo Hawaiʻi. From Punana Leo to Pu'ohala to ānue nue, and then also at ke kula o ka makau. Malaila no mākou I launa houai, nā keiki o mākou, ma ke kula, ma ka pali o Iole ka'a. E ia naʻe ka ʻohana, ka makau, me ke mele o kula iwi, paku ia ko mākou kumu o Larry Kumara, e nani ana.
Pelina mai e nā hoa makamaka mai ka pihi ana a ka lā I haʻe a hiki loa aku I ka nā poʻo ana o ka lā I kuʻu hoi. Kahi e moe ai nā kuʻukua a ka hele lani. Ano ai kākou. Eia no mākou nā ʻohana o ke kula o Samuel Manel ka lani kamakau e a koa mai nei ka malu o haiku nei. No ka hāpai ana I leo oli a oi e ane ke kami ka mea aloha Kanoa Wong. He leo mili lani a he leo aloha kia ia hoi na mea a pau au I ka ana a ao mai a ia mākou ma kia honua nei. Kau ka hāli aloha. O kau mino aka oi, o kau aloha ai na kalena ole oi, o kau mālama o ana oi. E moa me ka maru hea e ana kekeni. Ke aloha nui, aloha oi.
Mahalo nui for your patience and with this wonderful, wonderful thing that is technology. Why don't we go ahead and we'll save that recording for later if we can get that up and running. But we do want to get through a little bit more kuka kuka and mo'olelo. So I'm going to go ahead and have Jamie share some time with Anake, Kim, Ku'ule, Bernie. Aloha. Jamie, I'll hand it over to you. Aloha to Olua.
Aloha, mahalo Diane, aloha kako, mahalo everyone for being here with us. So I have the honor this evening to introduce to you our next wahine who really doesn't need any introduction. It is because of her that we are all here and that we have the privilege to have loved Cami and the privilege that Cami has loved us. It is because of her that we are here today to honor her daughter. I met Kim Ku'ule Bernie, Cami's mama, in the 90s. She was my health careers placement counselor. What I remember the most about Kim back in those days was that she had the knack to counsel us in a very nurturing way. Techniques that only a mother could balance professionalism with true aloha. So Kim has taken time to hang out with us tonight. With all of us here, she'll be sharing some mo'olelo and ha'i aloha about Cami. Most importantly, Kim, we mahalo you for balancing motherhood with lahui business. For sharing your punahele, your waleno with us. You eloquently shared earlier, Cami belonged to the lahui. Everyone, mahalo Kim for coming.
Aloha nui kākou. Thank you all for your support for Cami, for her family. Nala Wehena, particularly for hosting this. I'm truly grateful for that outpouring. Our whole family is, my family, Layana's family, we're all grateful. And Nala Wehena was an important part of, it's not an old hui, right? It's kind of a newish hui, but it was an important hui to kind of bring wahine together to reach a little bit more deeply into what inspires and nurtures and drives us culturally and spiritually. And so I'm grateful to all of the sisters, the mothers and aunties here of Nala Wehena for the work that all you folks, and they're all around here in this place. And that's why I wanted to come and spend time with them directly. But, it's really a blessing to have had Cami here with us. And it does seem like a short time, but, I had her for 39 years. And it was a blessing. It was truly a blessing. I realized, I'm so sorry. I realized that with everybody here, she was a daughter to many. Auntie Hoku is our inspiration here. And we go back to when, the first time Cami went to Kaho'olawe when she was 10 years old. And then I kept taking her. And, Auntie Hoku was one of those people that would, be on the island, but also regularly bring us coffee and donuts at McKenna Landing. And thank you. Nahelani from, the work we used to do. I found out that we're all related. And that's one thing that Cami and I had in common too, is the genealogy. We knew our genealogy. And she's with her ancestors now. She's with our ancestors. And if there ever was a 39-year-old who truly knows her ancestors, it's Cami. She knows exactly who's who and who's going to welcome her and who should be connected to who and who was connected to whom. So she's with our ancestors, and I have no concerns about about where she is now. But I want to not drag this on too much longer. I just want to say that she is my daughter. She is the daughter and niece to many who I know love her. And during those times where she didn't really want to talk to her mother, I knew that the people that she did talk to loved her, and I trusted them, and I knew that they interacted with her with love. So to all of you who served that role, I mahalo you for being her auntie and her mother. And then she took on, as she got older, she took on this role as a mother, and as the haumea that she really embodied. And she loved being a mother. And we have come to realize that she belongs to the lahui in so many ways, as a daughter, as a sister, and as a mother. And to all of you who love her, or are just hearing about her and think you might have loved her, we're grateful. My aloha nui kākou.
Ai, hikino? Hikino, okay. Mahalo, everybody. Thanks for hanging in with us. So much mana flowing. It's altering our technology. That's what I think, of course. We'll come back to Layana, absolutely. And what we want to get to is just a little bit about what we have put together as Nalawa Hina for our auction. I'm going to have Wai Ale Ale and Wai Ale Ale Li'i talk to us a little bit about what's going to happen, and then we'll come back and revisit that video. Hikino.
Aloha nui kākou. It will just be myself today, but just wanted to send a big aloha to Layana and Kim and ʻOhana for really blessing us with the time that we did have with Cami. It's been such a blessing to have her as part of Nalao Ahina, and I would like to think that she has not left us. She is still with us always. And so tonight I get to introduce to you the auction. How does this work? And really, I would say this is about having aloha, having just enjoying ourselves and honoring our ʻOhana, Kanoa Wong, and the many things that they've contributed to our lahui. And so I'm sharing with you just a little bit of how this works. And so if you are not on Instagram, get an Instagram account. If you don't know what IG is, talk to your children, because they probably know how to do it, and they can help you set up an account. So tonight, you will see some of the items coming. You'll see some of the categories. And again, we're so blessed with the number, overwhelming responses. Thank you to everybody that has contributed to make this auction happen for ʻOhana. So all of this week, so if you go on IG, follow Nalao Ahina, you will see posts already there, like the one that you have as an example, all the way through the week. And we will be adding things as fast as we can as new items come in. We're posting them as quickly as possible, and we'll preview some of them tonight. On October 9th at 6 p.m., bidding opens. And you'll see a post just like this with the picture of the item. And then you'll see a caption on the bottom that will say, this is the starting bid, and then the increments which you can bid at. If you're the first starting bid, you bid there. If you want to bid on something that has a bid already, you add your bid based on the increments, and then you're going to tag the person that you're outbidding. And this is really important. You need to tag the person that you're outbidding. And we will not be accepting any direct messages for any bids. So please use the comments. On October 11th at 8 a.m., bidding closes. You will be notified if you are the winner. You will make a payment to ʻOhana Kanoa Wong via PayPal within 24 hours. So we will not be collecting any money directly. Your payments should all go to the ʻOhana. And then send proof of payment to us, and the donor will be sending the item to you. We will also be posting other rules in the IG, so please take a look at those. Again, this is about aloha. This is about enjoying this auction and really just showing how much we love and care for ʻOhana, Kanoa Wong, and Kami. So if you are like me and have a daughter that's way better than me in IG, the other option for you, because I've done this before, just saying, is to give her your username and password to your IG account and make sure that she bids for you. Give her a list, or the list of everything that you want to bid on. Give her a limit, or give her a limit, and let them bid for you, because they probably are much more elu than myself. So I'm just giving you a hint as to how I am going to play this auction, which is to get my children to bid for me because they're much more elu. So again, just want to say mahalo to everyone that has offered their donation. We're so grateful, and we know by just your sheer love how much she's impacted all of you and our lahui, and we really, really hope this auction will be a success for her ʻOhana. Mahalo nui.
Okay, we're gonna start introducing some of the items that have been gathered, and we're gonna take about 6 sections, each of just a couple of minutes for an overview. This is the sneak peek preview of the items that we have up for auction starting next week. First up, we're going to have Judy. Go ahead, take it away.
Aloha no. Mahalo everyone for joining us and for being with us. And mahalo again, Kim, for allowing us to have this time together tonight. When we put the kea out for this auction only 5 days ago on Monday, we were so overwhelmed by the number of people and family and friends who had reached out and given so freely from their heart, just as Kami would do as well. And it was just amazing to see that in only 5 days, we have about 200 family and friends who have donated close to 300 items. And as they were coming in, it was as if Kami just spoke to us and said, this is who I am, this is who I was, this is what I've given to the lahui. And as you will see, the 6 categories that just came and lived and breathed life for us, it's really truly Kami. So every category that we have here is for Kami. Mauliola for birthing and keiki, Inu and I, wearable art, experiences, ho'onui ike, and art. And we're going to have each of the Nālau members will come up and talk about and share some of the wonderful things that have been given from all of you. So we mahalo you for giving and for receiving tonight and for the next week as you will receive these items into your homes. And we will forever remember Kami and remember who she is through each of these wonderful categories that have just breathed life into us. So mahalo and enjoy. Aloha.
Aloha, I'm Ku'ilani Oden, and I'm here to talk about the Mauliola birthing and keiki items that we have. And for those of you that know Kami, these were all interests of hers. She was a fierce supporter of birthing. She, her indigenous breastfeeding group, and also part of Mauliola, just health as an overall for the lahui was very important to her. And so we have actually items from birth until passing that have all been donated. Starting off with several home birth kits from several of the midwives. We have postpartum services. We have papai, lomi. In between all of that, we have salves, we have tinctures, we have soaps. I wanted to share with you this apu. Actually, it's a traveling Kanoa set, and these 5 apu were made by Atwood Makanani. This is being donated by Po'uluaina. We actually have a home la'au kit too, you have the papa that you can pound the herbs on, and there's a grater, there's the pots to use, there's the strainer, the cloths were hand dyed with olena and some of the herbs up at Po'uluaina. We have, we also have a healthy food with honey and cornmeal from the rapoons and cassava flour and t-shirt. We have haloa book, which is actually, you can't buy it in the store, but you can get it at the auction. And we have a charcuterie board and just all kinds of things that are going to keep you well and inside, both spiritually and physically and mentally. We have all kind of things to support the Maoli and all of you. And we actually even have a beautiful urn that's been donated for ashes at the end of your life. So from birth until death, we have just amazing things to offer.
I think Cami would really love these. She loved being part of Kaiulani's trainings, and all 4 of her babies were born at home, 2 in Manoa, 1 in Kailua, and 1 in Waimanalo. And the picture that you see there, that I think you see there, is when Cami was hapai with the very first baby, Ha'aipo. She was about maybe 8 3/4 months pregnant right there, and that's up down at Kahena Beach. And I remember with her first pregnancy, well, I remember when she told me she was hapai, and she came back and she said, "And I want to give birth in your house, in your home." And I said, "Oh, okay." And then a couple days later, I said, "You want to give birth in my house?" And she said, "Yeah." And I said, "In that case, I'm Puna." That was the contingent. I was going to be Puna. And of course, home birth was we knew some people that had given birth at home, but not a lot. And, you know, I work in Hawaiian health, so I know almost every single Hawaiian physician, you know, in Hawaii. So there was, you know, there was a certain framework going on there. But, you know, that to me is the best part about pregnancy. 9 months you have, not only is your body preparing to birth this new life, to provide this new life, but it also gives everybody the opportunity to understand what's next, prepare, to plan, to learn things you don't know. And I learned things, and Cami learned things, and Leana learned things. We all learned and grew and came to arrive at the same place at just the right time. And when Cami's time came, it took a long time. It took a very, very long time. But watching my daughter go through what she did to give birth for the very first time, all that she endured, all that she went through, all that she did with love and with joy, at that moment, I really fell in love with my daughter all over again. You know, in the way that you do when you have your newborn baby and you fall in love with them and you don't really know them. I fell in love with my daughter all over again when she gave birth, because it was really, I just was in awe of her strength, of her determination to do this in the way that she wanted to do it. And she just blew me away. And I fell in love with her all over again. Mahalo to all of you who donated all of the things that Kaiu just described, and particularly to Atwood Makanani, who is ʻOhana to us. We are also Makananis on my mother's side. And mahalo nui.
Wehena, me ke aloha, everyone. Aloha, I'm Ulalia Woodside, and I'm thrilled to be with you this evening to share a little bit about inu and ai. A couple of things everybody knows I love, and we know so many of you love inu and ai. And you can see on the slide there that there are several things that we have available. In fact, I think we have about 20 different inu and ai options that are available for you. Right there in the middle, you see the Lonohana chocolates. So these are specialty chocolates that are small batch chocolates that are grown in Haleiwa. And there'll be 2 different options you'll be able to bid on to get either a set of chocolate bars and granola, or really the small batch chocolate that you can use. You also see down there in the corner, we have somebody who has donated Merry Mead. So mead is a beverage. And so you'll get 4 bottles of this mead is one of the options, but we've got all kinds of things available. One of my favorites that I like to enjoy, as well as to give away and share with friends, are those E Kolu Mea Nui snacks. So E Kolu Mea Nui has donated a set of 2 bags of their half-pound bags of seeds of change. And if you haven't had those, this might be a really great opportunity for you to get a really specialty mix of seeds. So that's another thing that you'll get to bid on. And we've got a couple of different options for you to get these really neat gift boxes that are pulled together. One is from the Kahau Lelio homegrown, and it's like a cheese and poo-poo platter. They have local cheeses and handmade goodies, sliced meats, and come to you nice in a 8x8 box. And you'll have fruits and veggies in there. So that's another yummy thing that will be available for you. There's an old-fashioned 8-inch chocolate layer cake that's going to be decorated. I actually might want to bid on that because, you know, homemade old-fashioned chocolate layer cake, that's kind of special, and you don't get that too much anymore. There's all kinds of things. We want to thank Ho'okua Aina. They'll be donating 2-pound bags of poi, along with a bag and some gift certificates, a trucker hat, and some stickers. So there's all sorts of things. There's all sorts of values as well. So those that some of our keiki that might want to join in and bid, there'll be some things that, you know, you can start off with lower bids, and then we've got like some really great gift baskets and opportunities out there. But that's what we have for Inu and Ai. And so we've got about 20 of those items that are going to open up for the auction for you to enjoy, and we look forward to you bidding on them. Mahalo.
So when Cami was 15, she decided that she was vegetarian. Just out of the blue, she was not going to eat meat anymore. And it was hard to try to figure out what she could eat. Like, it couldn't just be French fries and pizza, right? And so she just decided she wasn't going to eat meat anymore. Then she went away to college, and she kind of put on the freshman 15, and it was mostly with cheese and French fries. And, you know, I thought that it might be a phase but it wasn't. It wasn't. She moved into a plant-based diet. She was always reading and learning and experimenting and learning how to eat more healthfully. When she married Layana, she introduced him to more vegetables and more salads and all of that. So eating healthfully has always been very, very important to her. And early on, you know, Saturday mornings after hula, I used to take the kids for a treat to McDonald's, and that lasted maybe a few months. And then it just seemed wrong that they were doing that on Saturdays and eating healthfully all the other days. So they, even right now, if somebody takes them to fast food, they kind of bristle like, I'm not sure I'm supposed to eat this, right? And they kind of hem and haw, you know, they don't want to offend whoever is treating them. But I thought maybe I could, maybe Anui Nui could share what both your families did at Punana Leo to bring Aipono, to regulate, to standardize Aipono.
What I really mahalo about Cami was that she had no filter. She would tell it as it is. And for a lot of times for me, I would shy back and just kind of try to do it by my practice of things. But she gave us confidence to be okay with being a family that only ate fish and poi, or a family that ate from the Aina, you know, that really tried our best to eat local. And yes, I think at the Punana Leo, you know, we gather a lot. We have a lot of family gatherings and weekly meetings. And so one of the big things was we would feed the keiki. Mm-hmm. And I remember, you know, most ʻOhana, because it's easy. I was one of them too. We buy pizza. We bring the pizza. But Cami was like adamant about bringing a salad and making sure that every keiki ate some salad, even if it was just one piece of lettuce. You had to eat that, you know. And then for our ʻOhana, we brought the kalo, or we would bring kiawe bean flour so that the keiki would try out aina bars, which is another item, by the way, that you're going to be able to bid on. And I think that was something that I really admired of her. And most recently with our ko'olau aina momona ʻOhana, we've kind of gotten into some of the proteins.
Mm-hmm.
And I think conversations that she and I shared was about, even in our proteins, whether it's pork or beef, I think together we were able to shift perspectives of knowing where our food comes from. When we started to, and understanding the relationship of the cow or the pig that we got to be a part of in harvesting. And I know for her, it was a big deal to know, like, her keiki, Ha'aiko and Aina both were able to participate in doing our cow harvest on Hawaii Island.
Yes.
And she may have not eaten a lot of meat, but she knew that this meat was going to be good for her ʻOhana. And
she didn't eat meat until she was pregnant with her first child, and then she needed more meat. She craved it for a little while, and then she needed more meat. Yeah. So she had reintroduced it more slowly. But I was a carnivore, and that was miserable to her. I came to learn yeah. And to this day, people, her cousins in particular, I see them bringing more salads. And now, this week I see more salads on our table. Mm-hmm. Her cousins are bringing them in her honor.
Yeah.
Mahalo.
Aloha. I have the privilege of highlighting the wearable art section. There are so many beautiful items that have been donated in this category, so I mahalo everyone who's donated something. We have clothing for adults and keiki, like this kupu kupu block print charcoal wahine style tee by Limahana Art. They range in sizes from small to 2X, so for anybody. Next we have a striking leihulu humu papa, featuring pheasant feathers created in a pauku style, displaying the beautiful sections of the different feathers on the hat you see in the image there. You will be bidding only on the leihulu, as this papale is not included, but don't worry, we have a bunch of other papale that have been donated. If you want to pair any of our leihulu, we have a few options, like our custom papale piko'ole with a 3-inch brim. And that will be made custom to fit the winner of that auction. And then speaking of hats, the other picture you see there is an unreleased edition of the Fitted Hawaii and Kealopiko collab. This gray Peva camper strapback features a unique color combo, and it's one of only 13 that were made. So this color design will not be released to the public, so you must bid on this item in the auction to get to wear it. And lastly, on this slide, we have a range of gorgeous jewelry items in a range of materials. This pikake set by Miki Helena Designs includes a 20-inch pikake bead necklace and a pair of pikake drop earrings. Both items are made with gold fill findings and coral and resin composite pikake beads. So I hope you enjoy the wide range of wearable art we have, and mahalo again for all the local designers who donated.
Aloha mai kakou. My name is Nakua Kassim Fisher, and I'm going to be introducing you to our next category, which is on experiences. And we have more than 30 donations for experiences, and they vary from all different kinds of fun things. In the slide, you see Namaka Kahiko Pohe Kapala workshop, and you'll be given all of the supplies and the instruction on making pohe kapala. There is 2 donations from Camp Palehua, that's on Ka'ala, Makakilo side of Ka'ala, and one of the 2 donations that they're providing is an exclusive use of their campgrounds, which is like 15 acres in total, for up to 50 people, and you have exclusive use of all the facilities and accommodations, and also includes 1 guided tour or guided activity by their staff member. And another awesome experience where many of Nalawahina are already gonna start bidding on is Chef Kealoha Domingo's champagne brunch for 10 people. It is gonna be located at Kapohana Kuola And it's going to be very exclusive and up to the bidding winner to plan with Chef Kealoha on a special meal. And also we have Ilimale McFarlane, who is donating a 1 hour self-defense class or self-defense lesson on either jujitsu or MMA. She's a former world champion, and along with that workshop is going to be her signature Pineapple Princess top, as you see in the picture, and her signed gloves. Other experiences include Lomi Lomi, an uhi, a kakao session with Kavika. We also have a burlesque class for 2 friends. That's fun. And okay. So it ranges in price from, from 100 to 1,000. And so please look for those. They're going to be the photos with the blue frame. Mahalo.
Wehena mai kākou. I'm Kealoha Fox, who Cami lovingly calls Leanne. Throughout our more than 20-year friendship, we've always loved sharing in conversation, trading thoughts, learning and making connections through Ho'onui Ike. Her energy for knowledge, organizing her research, and connecting the dots through her living practice are powerful tools she possesses with skill, art, and ease. In Na Lauahina, this hui where Cami was a co-convener, we carry this practice forward through our collective and are grateful for the many generous donors to share your gifts with us. In this category, you'll find books for all ages, including books Mako'olelo Hawaii for Keiki, note cards, planners, calendars, games, puzzles, journals, posters, and much more. When the auction launches, you will find around 30 separate post options in this category for you to bid on. All items in this category will start in the $10 to $25 range with $1, $5, and $10 increments, making Imi Ike accessible to all as Cami would want. So please share the Na Lauahina Instagram account with all your contacts. Some of the posts you'll find is a Wahine collection of books offered from Namea Hawaii, a custom journal with koa cover and binding from Olapalapa Books, a Konane board from Akau Boards, a transform planner from Wahine Coder, a kilo planner from Moonkind Tings, and Hawaiian Goddess note card set from Limahana Art Apparel. We know there are many opportunities for you, your ʻOhana students, friends, and coworkers to share our passion for Ho'onui Ike with the winning items in your bids. Together, in every realm, we celebrate, perpetuate, and feel the amazing intellect of our lahui.
Aloha ho. I understand that there's some really amazing donations of artwork by some of Hawaii's finest artists. I don't really know all the details yet, but we're about to learn it after this. But I was thinking about how Cami appreciated art. And I just want to tell a brief story about when she was 10, actually a few days before her 10th birthday, she and I flew to Paris, and she turned 10 just a day after we arrived. And my rule was we had to carry everything on our back. So we each had a backpack, a travel bag. And because I was with a young girl, we had to have a roof over our head every night, right? No bus stations or parks or anything like that. And we had to have a roof over our head every night. We backpacked in Europe for 6 weeks when she was 10. And what we did is we visited museums and historic sites and statues and artwork. And I'm really sorry I didn't find in time any photos to send along to accompany this mo'olelo. But I think what Cami really learned then was travel is the best education. And if I could manage it, if there was ever a choice between summer school or a travel of some sort, if we could swing it, we did the travel. And she broadened her awareness of people and places and cultures and food and just, you know, that greater worldliness that enabled her to come back home and see what all travelers do, where we fit into this greater universe that we're all a part of. And I know for a fact that contributes to her great appreciation for art. Neither of us were super great artists. My mother and my grandmother were, but I know she had a great appreciation. And more recently, she posted that my mom, who traded adventure for money. And I always went with adventure, but it wasn't the money that I was giving up. It was the luxury. I was willing to go fourth class instead of first class so that we could spend more money on admissions and more money on another train ride or another ferry ride or to do something like that. I think that's where the adventure came in, and where she has, you know, you can scroll through her social media and see how she has taken her children traveling as often as she could manage to do really special things, you know, including just a few weeks ago, taking the two little ones to a place that was really special to her. So I just want to thank all of the artists who were inspired in whatever way you were inspired by Kami, and know that she would appreciate it, and know that we and the rest of her family appreciate it as well. Mahalo.
Aloha kako. Yeah, so I missed the meetings, and so they stuck the non-artists with the job of introducing the art. So yay. But no, I'm like Auntie Kim and Kami, you know, in that regard, where I appreciate art. I try really hard. Sometimes I might consider myself an artist, but I'm really not. They should have had me do the food introduction, but yeah, we have about 30 donations in the category of art, maybe about 15 artisans. And I chose the artists that I know to highlight. And so we're gonna start with the photograph on the bottom left. Some of you may have been there that day. This is a metal print that Sean Mars, a good buddy of mine, he actually is donating through 2 other photographs as well, both all on metal. This was a big day for us at the fish pond at Pai Pai Wahe'eia, Pani Kapuka. You were probably there amidst the 2,000. I don't know, you might really want a picture. Yeah, so mahalo nui to Sean Mars. We have Solomon Enos. Of course, the guy does not need any introduction. I have a bunch of his artwork in my own home, but he's got a few items that he's donated. In the upper right, I thought I'd share this because this is a young man that used to work for Papahanau'ula Kuola, that is actually from Baltimore, Maryland. And he lives in Virginia, so he no longer lives in Hawaii and he's no longer employed by Papahana. But he does beautiful artwork, sketches, and watercolor. And so we have one of his originals here on watercolor. This is, oh my gosh, I just drew a blank. This is Nick Needle. How can I forget Nick Needle? He's actually on our fantasy league. Anyway, and then, you know, functional art. Not that beautiful imagery on your wall is not functional. It does serve a purpose, but we have a couple of functional art pieces that were donated. This one right here is a paipo board donated by our friend Mahi Lapierre, who works at Papahanau'ula Kuola. And right here it says opportunity. And there's a picture of an apu over there. So very Kami with the apu. Yeah. And then the back. And this is just the plywood white birch And then he did a couple of different stains, or he just stained it 2 different colors, yeah. But paipo doesn't come with fins though. You gotta get your own fins. And then we have this one. How's this one? This one just arrived from 2 houses down. This is from a friend, Kukimi Sua. Lives on Maui. Yeah, so we have umeke made out of ipu, and then the cocoa, yeah, around it. But he just delivered this a couple hours ago. So yeah, and there's much more. But that's all I can manage to remember in my late brain. But yeah, gonna miss Cami. She's the only person that I would allow to call me Hi'i. And so I'm gonna miss hearing that. Hi'i. Hi'i. In the Cami voice, of course. But yeah, mahalo nui.
Aloha mai kako. I don't see myself up on the picture, but never mind. I'm going to forge ahead anyway. So aloha mai kako. This is Hokulani. I'd like to introduce this halau. It's halau hula o kukuno kala that Laiana was a member of. As I understand, I talked to Kumuhula Elsie Ryder, who is the Kumuhula of this halau, and she explained that when, and for those who may not know hula genealogy kind of thing, halau hula o kukuno kala was originally begun by John Ka'imikawa. And so after John passed, then Elsie Ryder took over the halau and continues it to this very day. So Elsie shared with me that when Laiana was still, I believe she said in high school, he came to the halau and he was very interested and started dancing when John was still the kumu. And then on through college, and as life kicks in, sometimes things fall by the wayside and then arise once again. But those of us who do hula, we know that once you have studied, once you do hula, hula never leaves you. And so Elsie wanted us to remember that while Laiana may have not continued always in halau, they always counted him and included him as part of their halau. So halau hula o kukuno kala, currently under the direction of Elsie Ryder, originally begun by Kumuhula John Ka'imikawa. Mahalo Laiana for your continuation and your love for hula and how you bring that into your ʻOhana as well. Aloha.
Aloha, I'm Elsie Ryder with Halau Hula o Kukuno Kala, and just wanted to share some thoughts and a mele for the Kanoa and Wong family. We knew Laiana, and that's how we're connected to Kami. While he was attending Anuenue, he came to halau. At that time, our kumu John Ka'imikawa was our kumu, and Laiana had experienced the halau, and as he progressed in his life, he met Kami, married, had children, and he returned bringing his children to the halau, and we enjoyed watching them grow. We had numerous occasions with meeting with Kami through the halau with Niuli'i. And at times when she would come and visit with the kids and stop by with Laiana. I'd like to share a mele I composed, and Kilia Purdy helped me with Hawaiian translations. I'd like to dedicate this mele to the Kanoa Wong family, and mele is entitled Ulu Au. He keiki au e pili I ku'umakua, ulu au, hanai a maku'u aina hanau, I ka vai a me ka lepo. Maliua e au I ku'umakua, ulua loa ka haloa I ka lani. E kuau I ne'i au I ka mana, a ku'umakua. He makua au I pili I ku'u ʻoha, ulu au, hanai I ku'u ʻoha ma ku'u aina, I ka vai a me ka lepo, pa'a I ka aina o ole a ka ha, me ka lau I ka la. I kai kana ku'u ʻoha, I kono ku'u ʻoha, I ka mana ui a'u. He ulu ana I ke aloha o ku'umakua, I kona loko mai kai, I kona pula malana ku'umana'o, I ka ulu ana e kuno I ka mana o ku'umakua, I kona pua aloha. E kuno I ka mana ku'aloha, I kona pua aloha. I maika'i ke kalo I ka ʻoha.
Aloha. I'm here to talk a little bit about another part of Cami. And as I've been thinking about Cami over the past week, I just, really realized how much she was intertwined into my life. Her grandfather and my father are part of a group called Namaka together. Her mom, Kim, and I have been friends and colleagues in the health field for a long time. And Cami and Laiana, through immersion and just the lahui work, and then as part of ʻEhola and the programs that I talked about, and in her birth work, I just always, she was always there. I always saw her. And people don't know too that she was also my hula sister. She was part of Napuale. And as Allah says, once a puale, always a puale. So I know she's dancing up there in heaven. But I talked to Niuli'i, and I wanted to see what memories Niuli'i had about Cami and Halau. And she was telling me that Cami, came to her at one time and told her she was having doubts about, was she going to be the best dancer? Was she going to be a good dancer? And Niuli'i had to tell her that everybody has their time when they're going to come into being a dancer, and your time is coming. And so she was telling me that when they went to Mary Monarch, and this was the first Mary Monarch after Allah passed, and they were doing a number about Haumea, that she all of a sudden saw Cami just blossom. Once she was looking, or when she was dancing and looking at all of the things that they were learning about Haumea and looking through that lens, it all seemed to have clicked for her. And all of a sudden, she saw that Cami was just dancing with confidence. You know, when you sometimes are just thinking about words and motions, and then there comes a time when it just all comes together and you're just fully dancing in your body, in your na'au, in your heart. And Cami came into that in this Mary Monarch that they were doing. And so Allah would, what you see this picture here, and I really just love this picture, but Allah would line us all up whenever we were doing, whenever we were going to compete, and we would get all dressed up except for the final le'a'i. And we would stand there and Allah would come up to each one of us. And she said, I touch your hands. And she would grab both of our hands. And she said, I touch your feet. And she would just edge her feet right over our toes. And then she would take her hand and she would put it on our heart. She said, I touch your heart. And then she would put our lei on top of us and whisper something personal to each one of us. And this tradition was continued on by Niuli'i, as you see here. And this was the Mary Monarch. This was right outside of Hilo Stadium. And she was doing the same thing with Cami. And she touched her hands and her feet and her heart. And Cami touched all of us. And so from Napule, we just want to say that she was just the embodiment of Haumea, and we all loved her and we will miss her, but she will always be with us. Mahalo.
Mahalo nui. Thank you so much for all of those mo'olelo. I'm just like, sorry, I'm a little teary-eyed, and I have my Kleenex box over here because all of these mo'olelo are just so overwhelming. And I think it's the mana that's going through the air that causes us to have some video and connectivity issues, but that's how, right? And I think, right, Cami is just telling us, like, let's get it on, eleo, let's go. So to close out some of the last portions of tonight's gathering, I just wanted to pass it over to my tita, Mahina Pashanduart, who's gonna close us out. We're gonna try, I believe, and do a couple more videos from another computer. So we'll just do some technological back end ideas. But in the meantime, we'll have Mahina kind of close us out with a leo mahalo. Go ahead, Mahina.
Mahalo, Itayan. Aloha, kako. I just wanted to thank all of our wonderful family members, friends. Aloha Aina. Thank you so much. I'm so proud to be a part of this lahui. And so we have so many different huis that are getting together to celebrate Cami Aloha and to share some aloha to the Kanoa Wong ʻOhana. And we have our dear friends, Pekunahong, as well as Mark Noguchi and all of their hoaloha, who's putting on a drive-through event at Kawaii Mamo Ili Ili. Many of you folks have shared your aloha for that place, mahalo nui, especially the Kanoa Wong ʻOhana. They're one of the first to occupy that space, to share their mana, to share their aloha, to share their ike of ava. And so thank you to the folks that purchase Simon kits. It's totally sold out. And if you still want to participate, wonderful. The way that you can participate is here on the screen. You can see you can drop off your lole. If you want to have lole that will be specially printed by Pekunahong and her mea kako'o in celebration of our beautiful Kamea Aloha, our manafo, mai wahine aiwaiwa o Kamea Aloha. Please drop off your lole between 10:30 and 11:30 at Kawaiwai Mamo Ili Ili at 1110 University Avenue in Mo Ili Ili, just below University and across Bucks Alley. And then, as you can see, if you were one of those that picked up your purchase sign-in kits, your pickup is going to be between 3 and 5 p.m. So after you drop off your lole, whether you ordered sign-in or not, you can pick up your lole at 3 to 5 p.m. So the times that, again, you need to know, you're going to drop off your lole, that's 10:30 to 11:30 a.m. And then you get to come back, pick up your sign-in if you already pre-purchased, and then pick up your lole. It should be dry by then, fresh, all fresh, 3 to 5 p.m. And we just want to mahalo everyone for making sure that we're safe in this with this gathering. We want to make sure that we have our palama and continue to aloha for each other by being safe. And we know what that means, yeah. So mahalo nui. We also we have so many awesome, talented artists and mahi'ai and entrepreneurs. We have, as you saw, we have folks who have donated from Hawaii to Kahelelani. We have Keiki that have donated items. We have Makua that have donated items. We have Kupuna that have donated items. And so the next several slides, you're just gonna see the names of, all of these awesome kanaka and all of their ʻOhana and aina that supports them. These are just some of the names that have donated to the auction in celebration of Kami Aloha. Let's check out the next set of names. Mahalo. You can see again how diverse and how wide and how far-reaching Kami's influence was and is on all of us. So before we fully adjourn this evening, what I'm going to do is I'm going to play some music for 2 minutes. And I'd like to ask anyone who is on either Facebook Live, mahalo to our aumakua for helping us finally get on. So those who are on Facebook Live and those who are on webinar, what we're gonna do now is I'm gonna play a mele. And we want to just invite everyone now to just share a mana'o aloha. And what we're gonna do is we're going to collect all of that, and we're going to share it with the ʻOhana, with Layana, with the Keiki, with Auntie Kim, and all of their ʻOhana. So I'm gonna play some mele now, and you're welcome to share your mana'o aloha via Facebook Messenger or chat, and here in the webinar chat. Oya.
Aloha.
Mahalo nui. Mahalo nui. I'm going to pass it over to Diane.
Mahalo. Okay, so the technology Aumakua have heard our kahea. We're gonna try one more time to load and share with you Liana's video. And then we also have a video of Cami that Liana did want us to share. So I think how appropriate to have her have the last voice, have the last leo. Aloha has downloaded the video, so I'm crossing my fingers. I'm gonna say a little pule right now and see if we can share that share that with all of you. Aloha.
I have the honor of introducing Liana. Before that, I just want to share a little bit that, you know, the Cami and Liana duo is indeed one that many of us look up to. Their steadfast commitment to raise the next generation of Aloha Aina, Upa'a ika olalo makuahine, skilled and armed with pule, oli, and ike kupuna is what gravitated many or all of us that are here tonight, and all of our lahui that it resonates throughout. So blessed are we to be a part of their mo'olelo, to be able to call them friends and ohana. My pilina to this amazing couple began over a kanoa of ava in a small kipuka in Kapahulu named Talenoa. My pilina to Liana specifically was back in his days of punanaleo and kula kayapuni as a keiki growing up in our kaya ulu o Aloha Hawaii. I was fortunate to meet his ohana, his dad, Liana Nui, and his mama, Lilinoi Kealoha Wong, and had the opportunity to volunteer at Punanaleo o Honolulu back in my high school days, where I got to really get to know Lilinoi. Earlier today, Liana took the time to send a short message to mahalo all of you who have shared your aloha and just has so much gratitude. And so I think his words to me was, I was with a kupua. And when I was with the kupua, she elevated our lahui, and her mana and her power and the work that she does continues, which we are all seeing that today, tomorrow, for the years to come. So I'm humbled and honored to introduce Cami's pili au, her skanking partner, her kane aloha nui ia, Liana Kanoa Wong. Aloha.
Heleo Wehena, heleo aloha ki ia. Me ko kako ʻOhana, ka ʻOhana Kanoa Wong. Heleo mahalo ki ia ia oko pakahi. Nona leo pule, nona leo aloha. Nona hali ali a aloha. Ku'u wahine, Cami, ku'u ka me aloha o Kalani, Kanoa Wong. Mahalo e nā lauahina for all the beautiful work you guys do to uplift the ike and mana of our lahui. This has been a tough time for us, but we are standing as one. Ikune kako in aloha. We're standing as one for our lahui. We're standing as one for our ea. We've been standing as one for our ʻOhana. And we want to say mahalo nui o kopakahi. Mahalo to everybody for your kind and thoughtful donations and aloha to our ʻOhana to help, you know, ho'omau ke ea. My wahine has an amazing legacy of aloha aina, aloha lahui, ho'ola i ka ike Hawaii, connecting islands, connecting spaces, and I grow more and more in love with her every day through all the stories we hear. And so, just wanted to say a mahalo from our ʻOhana. Please keep our ʻOhana and my babies in Pule, in Pale. And malama and aloha your ʻOhana. Malela ke ola. If anytime you guys want to come to Kailua, Cammie's mama's hale, we have a little wahi set up for lei and aloha. But the pule travels faster than the speed of light. I just want to say mahalo ya oko pakahia pau, me ko ka ʻohana Kanoa Wong, no ko aloha pau ole, no ku wahine, no Cammie, me ku umau keiki, o ha'aipo, o ke aloha aina, o puamana, me kiki ai. Mahalo no ke aloha pau ole, no ko kako ʻohana. Mahalo ya oko pakahia pau. E ola mau ke ea o ko kako la hui. E ola mau ke ea o Hawaii, e ola mau ka ike Hawaii. Aloha nui kako, aloha.
E iho ana o luna e pi ana o lalo e hui ana nā moku e ku ana ka paia. E iho ana o luna e pi ana o lalo e hui ana nā moku e ku ana ka paia. E iho ana o luna e pi ana o lalo e hui ana nā moku e ku ana ka paia. I mua ka la hui Hawaii.
Mahalo nui, and that you can't end anything after that. Mahalo nui for tuning in with us. Mahalo nui for sharing this space. And just, just Cammie has the last word, and I'll just leave it at that. Mahalo nui. We'll see you next week for at our online auction. Aloha.